What's going on, everyone? I'm Encore. This is Tomorrow Never Comes. And for anyone in any market today, whether that be the stock market or crypto, it literally seems like tomorrow will not come because, wow, there's some serious devastation that's going on right now. And there's a point to all this. Stick to the end. Kind of want to give you my why this is a gift to us, or not for all things, but a gift to any of those who are in it for the long haul. Okay, but let's run through literally what's happened. So if you guys see, this is a Bitcoin chart, and we're looking here on the monthly, and we're sitting here at 22,000. Just 22,250, hovering underneath there. And we have not been at this price point since December of 2020. So we're looking at a year and a half of all kinds of stuff in between. The price point of going up to 69,000, 68, 69,000, and now here we are at 22,000. So quite a bit of volatility. For those who have been in it for many cycles. For those of you who don't know, Bitcoin tends to go on 4-year cycles. Now there's a debate now: is the cycle broken? Is it lengthened? All that. I don't play into that. It is what it is. But for those who thought cycles were dead and we're just going to catapult now up into the stratosphere, things definitely came back to earth, right? Pretty hard, right? So 22,000. I mean, listen, if you've been sitting on the sideline and you want to pat yourself on the back and say this is what you're waiting for, great. But don't be one of those people that says, well, I'm going to wait till it goes now to 10,000 or to 5,000. I mean, anything's possible, but definitely not something I would wait on the sidelines for. Dollar cost average, that's what I do. And so what kind of facilitated this that happened? So Celsius, a major centralized exchange, one of the biggest ones, one of the best ones up to date. So what they do is they like you to kind of, park your assets there, and then they lend those assets out, and they lend them out. So when they're lending them out, it's kind of tied up in certain contracts, smart contracts. So it's not very liquid supply. They can't move in and out of them. They're just locked in for a period of time. They're borrowing it, lending it out, getting yield, and then passing some of that yield off to those who have their assets locked up. So what happens when the price kind of fluctuates and everything kind of goes down is that they start to feel the pressure now, because people are taking assets off of, they're trying to move them off of the exchange. And since their assets are tied up in smart contracts, they have no maneuvering ability. So it's hitting them even harder and harder, because things are flowing out and nothing is flowing in, and whatever is in is locked up. So they don't even have any ability to maneuver. So not a good look. And this is something that's always been preached by those who've been in the space, is that, look, if it's not your keys, it's not your crypto. And what does that mean? Meaning, if you don't have custody of your assets, Bitcoin or otherwise, somebody else owns them. Whoever has custody of your assets, they own those assets. It's that simple. So if you have it in a cold wallet, they're yours. If you have it in a hot wallet, they're yours, but subject to being hacked and some other security issues. But if you're logging in with a password and an email, two-factor authentication, whatever it is, but you don't ever need you don't have access to your private keys, that platform owns it. And so that's where Celsius fits. So what did Celsius end up doing is they ended up saying, well, in the interest of our community, we're going to pause, all withdrawals and transfers and trading, I should say. And so that's not a good thing, right? You can't, it's one of the things that you fear, because you cannot move your assets off now. You're stuck, and they don't give you a timeline. They just tell you that, when it's good and ready for that to be modified or reversed, they'll do so. You don't know when that is. Now, is there, are you going to lose your assets? Hey, look, that's always a possibility. Although, those in the space are saying, it's probably not likely. But I want to show something that's very interesting. And so that's the real concern, is that if you don't have access and someone wants to suspend or shut it down, in this case, it's with the market volatility that caused the liquidity. But it could be something else, right? It could just be, those who control the entity, they want to take the money and run. They want to do something. They have full control. You don't. That is the point here. Move your assets off of centralized exchanges and own them yourself. Put them on cold wallets, or at the very least hot wallets, and you will be a lot better off. All right, and you won't have this. So I used to be on Celsius, and I took my assets off of there a long time ago. It had nothing to do with any concerns I had over Celsius. It was just something that I ended up doing. And Crypto.com, I was heavily on there. I made a conscious effort to take my stuff off of there several months ago, and that was for these risk factors, right? And if it happens to one exchange, it could happen to a multitude of them. All right, so there's always the concern there. So main takeaway here is own your own assets. Now I said if you don't own if it's not your keys, it's not your crypto. I've kind of modified that, so it's not your keys, not your financial freedom. It's somebody else's. All right, so whoever owns the Bitcoin or ETH to a lesser degree, in my point of view, they have financial freedom, not you. So if you have it in your cold wallet, that financial freedom is yours. Now, it could be 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 7. I don't know how long it's going to take. But you have the potential, and I don't even say the potential, it's going to happen at some point. It's just a matter of when. So if you don't own your assets, somebody else has that financial freedom, not you. All right, so going back to Celsius, this is something that I just came across, and I thought it was just mind-blowing. All right, so Celsius has 21,000, almost 22,000 Bitcoin sitting in a DAO. It's a vault. So it's a decentralized autonomous organization. There's no entity that controls it. It's literally software that governs, and the community kind of governs how it works, but it's in a vault. So no one really has access to it. But they came close to being liquidated yesterday. All right. Now, liquidated means that they have something at a certain price point. They have assets locked in at a certain price point that if it hits that price point, then they have to sell all of it. Okay. So imagine 22,000 Bitcoin coming on the market. And here, and it even says, and if this is liquidated, then 500 million Bitcoin will be market sold. All right. So they what they had to do was they had to add $100 million to it so that they can move the liquidation price down. Now, if this is kind of not making much sense, it's fine. Just understand that they had Bitcoin locked in, and if Bitcoin hit a certain price, they would have to be forced to sell it. And so what they did was they came in, they added more money so that they can lower that liquidation price. All right. And so right now, their liquidation price is sitting here at 18,000, almost 400. Okay. And so if it goes to that price point, like if it hits 18,388.25, it's all gone. It goes right on the market, gets sold out, unless they come in and add more money to it beforehand. So if that gets dumped on the market, you're going to see this price move down even further. All right. Quite a bit further. Okay. So all these things are in play. There's a lot of volatility. You know, I mean, we went from, just even as I was talking here, we went from 22,000, just under 400 to 100. Now we're back up to almost 400. Like, and even today we've been up to 24,000, I believe we were. So $2,000 swing move, right? So there's going to be a lot of volatility, but I'm going to say this to you guys, and I touched on it in the beginning. If you're in it for the long haul, and this is my personal opinion, this isn't financial advice to anybody else, nor am I a financial advisor, okay? But in my opinion, Bitcoin is as solid as it's ever been, more solid than it has ever been. So we talked about in the last year and a half how the price has gone literally from December of 2020 till now, we're in the same spot, okay? But the amount of fundamentals that have gained in between then, big companies adopting it, massive billionaires adopting it, all kinds of things that are happening in this space over the last year and a half. It's astounding how much progress has been made. And so to be here at the same price as we were a year and a half ago is an absolute massive opportunity. Okay. And I continue to buy. I will continue to buy. There are only 21 million of these, and the network is stronger than ever. It's decentralized. It cannot be censored, and it's borderless. All right. This is the future. This is what smart money does. They don't want to come in at high numbers. They do not. They want to come in and look like smart money. So they're going to make sure that all of us average Joes are out where they can accumulate on the cheap and then let the price point skyrocket. All right. So look, if you're on the sidelines, if you haven't done your research, do so now. This is an absolute beautiful opportunity to get in on some Bitcoin, ETH to a lesser degree, but definitely some Bitcoin, and let it carry you forward and mold your financial freedom. All right, so that's the whole point here, is that first of all, take your assets off the exchanges. You want to own them, you want to custody them. And secondly, be in it for the long haul. And if you are, this is the absolute best opportunity. So look, I just wanted to put a little bit of a calming voice out there. There's a lot of panic, a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I just wanted to put this out there, and I want to see how this ages in 5-10 years, right? We get a chance now to buy some more 22,000. So let's see where that takes us. Accumulate as much as you can. My light just fell off there, but that's all right. Accumulate as much as you can. Remember, today does not feel like tomorrow never comes. So that's apt, right? Tomorrow never comes. Take action. Invest in yourself today. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.